Hi guys, it's Natalie. This morning I'm going to be coloring this picture of a Corgi using Prismacolor colored pencils. If you look for them in the store, they come in a container like this. This is a 48 count. However, you can buy them individually or in smaller and larger packages at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and Amazon. So let's begin. Okay, with this Corgi, I'm going to begin by coloring the eyes. And to do so, I'm first going to lay down a solid black color, and then I'll come in with some white acrylic paint to add the reflections. To tailor the color eyes that I'm doing right now, it will be a very dark brown. However, I'm putting down the black first because it's a very dark brown. After I put down the black, I'll add a little bit of brown, and then I'll be using white acrylic paint for the reflections. This little black pencil is becoming so short, it's really difficult to use. Okay. Now I'm adding just a little bit of brown. It may be difficult to see, but it's just to add a little splash of color into the eyes. So the fur will be just a simple white and kind of like slightly golden color. It's a typical Corgi fur coat. Let's see. Okay, so I'm now going to be coloring the reflections on the eyes, and to do this I'll be using acrylic paint. This is just white craft acrylic paint. You can buy acrylic paint anywhere. It doesn't have to be this brand or anything if you want to do this, but this is just what I found. To Irene, yes, I drew him. I drew him right before this video. I drew a Corgi today because on my cat video that I made a little while back, I got a lot of comments saying that people wanted dogs, so I thought I would draw a Corgi. Those Corgis are super cute. I wish I had one. Here's a fun fact. The Queen of England, she's owned more than 30 Corgis during her reign. but not all at once. I wish I could have one. What I'm doing right now is I'm touching up the outsides of the white spots to make it kind of blend just slightly, because I didn't want it to be the solid white circle. I wanted there to be some kind of attachment to the background. Or not the background, but what's behind the white. I'm also going to be adding a slight little line of white at the corner of the eye just to make it look more realistic. Oh, shout out to Emily. Hi Emily. I'm glad that you enjoy these. Okay, and after coloring in the eyes, I'm going to color the nose right now, because it's a similar coloring process where I color it black and then add some reflections to it. I'm using a little touch of gray right here to help shade part of the nose. And now for a touch of white. Amanda asks, have you ever thought of drawing using a tablet on a computer? I've thought about it before, definitely, but I've just never purchased one of those before, because they are very expensive, but at the same time, art supplies are expensive too, but the thing that's really held me back from doing that was the fact that I don't have a computer that's strong enough to run programs such as Photoshop to draw on. So, I mean, just buying a tablet and using MS Paint isn't really worth it in my opinion. So I just never purchased one. Okay, I'm now going to begin coloring the white fur on the Corgi, which will surround its nose. I just have to clean up the lines a bit. Okay. Using white colored pencil is my favorite part of the tone gray paper because you can really make the color pop. And it goes with all the colors, not just white. But it's really neat how you can color one part of the page white, whereas the background, excuse me, this background is a grayish color. And it's just really nice because the gray is a natural gray, so it goes really well with almost any picture. Pauline. I cannot draw using my left hand. I've tried that before. I think I can color large areas with my left hand, but I can't do anything as skilled with my left hand. It's not that controlled. But however, drawing skill, it's definitely in the brain and not in the hand, so like I can attempt to draw, but my hand wouldn't be steady enough to draw anything good. But I think if I practiced a lot with it, I could definitely draw something, but I haven't done that. And I don't think I will. Unless I lost my right hand, then I'd kind of have to. These pencils are Prismacolor colored pencils. They're super nice. You can find them at craft stores such as Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and you can find them on Amazon as well. I'm using some gray around the nose to help shade in the white fur. Just using a little bit of it. And I'll be using just a slight touch of black as well. Okay, after that I'll begin shading the fur everywhere else, which is a light golden brown color. Hold on, excuse me for just 1 second. My dog is trying to go outside. going to start with this light brown color and begin drawing the fur. Well, first of all, we need to erase some of the pencil lines. Oops. Drop my pencil. Elisa asks, ever thought of putting your art on walls, graffiti style? I've thought about it before. Not necessarily graffiti style because, I mean, like, I've never really done word art or anything like that. But I know that graffiti is more than that. You can do pictures and stuff. This summer I will be starting a portrait, not a portrait, but a painting in my school with a couple of my friends for art club. It'll just be inside the school building though. It'll be a lot of fun, I think. I really haven't done any painting like that on a large scale before, so it'll be something new. But I'll probably just be using acrylic paints because that's what the school has. It's really cheap. And if it's just inside of the school on the walls, I won't have to worry about weathering as much. So, I mean, there'll be kids in the hallway that drag their hand across it, which is annoying. I've seen that happen before, but it'll be fine. Right now I'm using a Tuscan red color to add some more variety to the fur color and shade around the darker areas. Jennifer, I use the tone paper for these videos because I think they work. I think that the paper works really well with colored pencil. It gives it a natural background that's not just a plain white, but the gray is rather soothing, and it goes well with almost everything. So that's why I use it. Before I go any further on the fur, I'm going to just draw the outline of the mouth right now, so I have a boundary on where to color and where not to color. This is a smiling corgi, so I draw the lips right up here. And I'm adding white in the places where the fur color is slightly lighter. I don't really have another colored pencil color to make it lighter than the color that I'm using, so I'm just using white. Hold on. I'll be right back. My dog just came inside. Hey, I'm back. And if I didn't get to your guys' question, please ask it again because I can only see about 4 or maybe 5 comments on the screen at a time, and depending on the speed that you guys ask them, they get pushed up and I'm not able to read all of them. Kara, I am 16 years old. I don't know if I mentioned this in this video yet, but I have an Instagram account that you guys can see if you want to see my other works. The link to that is in the description of this video. And if you guys want a commission done or you want to buy some of my artwork, please send me a direct message on Instagram and I will get back with you. Oh, Sharon, I'm using Prismacolor colored pencils. You can buy them at craft stores such as Hobby Lobby and Michael's, but you can also find them on Amazon. Oh, Patricia, yes, I do personal works. If you send me a direct message on Instagram, and you're interested, I will get back with you. Or if you do not have Instagram, you can send a message to the Corgi Mama page and they will forward it to me. Oh, Victoria, I have never drawn a horse before. Maybe I have sketched one in the past, but I've never done a large drawing on a horse. Oh, Ashley, I draw more than just animals. My favorite thing to draw is people. You can see some examples of my work drawing people on my Instagram account. The link to that is in the description of the video and in the comments. Jennifer, I've been drawing since middle school. Okay, Kara, you ask, do you have any tips / advice to give to people when they draw animals? Okay, since it's really hard to sum up tips on drawing animals into one condensed thing because animals are so diverse, I would say, okay, most animals that people draw, they have eyes that are very significant and noticeable, like dogs or cats or things like that. Do focus a lot on the eyes because the eyes can really make or break an animal. Don't just limit yourself to one type of material like colored pencils or paint, for example. Always use more if you need it. Like, for example, I'm using colored pencils right now, but I'm also using paint for reflections, like the white spots in the eyes. That's all from paint. Terry, yes, I've drawn birds before, but only in the background on other pieces. And for the ears, I'm going to be using a slight touch of pink right here, just because there is a slight amount of pink that shows through the fur since the ears are primarily pink. Okay, April, some tips for coloring large areas so it doesn't seem choppy or sectioned. Definitely blend with the same pencil. It can be really difficult whenever you're coloring something one large color, but definitely use blending tools. One thing that my friend told me about was that these gummy erasers, you can use them for colored pencils and it blends in areas together. I recommend you try that. It can also lighten the color sometimes. These are pretty cool for that. Otherwise, like, I don't know what to use these for. I just use them for colored pencils. But yeah, you can also buy paper blending sticks, or just blending with the pencils themselves. However, that can be very like pressure intensive because you will have to apply a lot of pressure to create the smooth coat, but this is a good way around it. Oh, to Shannon. I do not use the blending pencil with my shading. Most of the time whenever I blend, I'll use the gum eraser, or I'll just color over it with a different color to blend it together. That's the beauty of Prismacolors, is that you can blend them together just by coloring over another color. But yeah, I've never tried the blending pencil before. I've seen them be used before, but I'm not sure how well they work. Okay, I'm going to color the tongue of the Corgi right here. Use some pink first. And a more vibrant pink. And to shade the pink, I'm not just going to use black, I'm also going to be using a brownish color. Let's see, it is sienna brown. Shannon, one thing I recommend that you do whenever you're blending colors together is the very first color that you lay down, lightly brush over the area to where it's not pushing down too hard, because if it's too hard, it's harder to blend it in with each other because it's more solidified. Whereas if it's a lighter brush, not a brush, I mean, if it's a lighter stroke, you'll be able to easily blend it in with other colors. And here's a little bit of fur, part of the mouth that surrounds the tongue. Tracy, was there anyone who inspired you to pursue your artwork / drawings? I'd say that it wasn't really people-based that inspired me to draw. It's more of just art itself, because like my whole life I've always liked to look at drawings, and even whenever I was younger I had fun like doodling and things like that, but I was never really into it back then. But over time I would just look at artwork, and I loved looking at art, I loved studying it, and just over time I've wanted to draw. So it was mostly based on looking at artwork and enjoying it. That's what inspired me. Right now I'm just drawing the Corgi's collar. I'm not going to draw the whole body, but I'm just drawing the head. And the collar is a good way to end it. Gabby, what I'm using to hold my phone is a thing called a shot box. It's used for photography and recording. Basically, it's this plastic box that pops up, and I work inside of it, and on top I place my phone, and there's a hole for the phone to record whatever's beneath it. So, Amy, my favorite thing to draw would be people. Mostly faces of people, but I also do like drawing bodies. One other thing that's important for this is the whiskers, and I'll be doing that right now. Whiskers, like eyelashes, it's just a thin, quick stroke. I'm using paint for this because the colored pencil, I don't think it'd work that well since I already have so much layered. And right now I'll just add some finishing touches in areas that I thought could use it. Oh, Joe, that was white paint. I used white paint for the whiskers. And for fun, I'll give the dog a little collar tag, little name tag. To Abby, yes, these pencils are slightly expensive. However, they're worth all the money that you put into them. If you go to places like Hobby Lobby and Michael's, they have coupons on their website that are like 40 or 50% off any item in the store, which you can use on Prismacolor pencils. That's super helpful. If you're just getting started on these pencils, I would recommend buying a few at a time. You can do that at craft stores. You can just pick out whatever colors you want. That way you're not spending a whole lot of money at once. But if you decide that you want to get a large package of them, make sure you look into coupons. And also check out Amazon. Amazon might have some deals that could be better than the coupons. Okay, and the color tag, the name tag, I'll just add a little shine to it. Okay, it's 1 minute to noon, and that's all the time I have today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing this and answering your guys' questions. I'll be back next week. Bye. Oh, and follow me on Instagram. The link is in the description. Bye.